Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lynn, the Leather Bag Lady. How are you all today? It is Tuesday today, I think. Just another day in the Leather Bag Lady neighborhood. It is Tuesday today, and I've had a busy morning. We will talk about that a little later. It is almost 10 after 2 in the afternoon, and I have a really cute little bag for you. So, this is today's offering. It is by a brand called Sil France. I don't know if you can see that. It's really cute. Now, I did a little bit of Google research and, of course, couldn't find anything. But I did find another bag for sale. I think it was on Poshmark. And they had it for $75. So, I'm not sure about that. But this is just the cutest little thing. All leather, of course. Couple of compartments inside. It's got like a velvet interior. There is a zipper. No rips or tears, but some creasing in that stress point where the flap goes over. Love this little kind of belt detail. I've listed it as a 70s because it is very in keeping with this little guy that I listed not that long ago. It's almost like mama and baby. Same. This is more brown. This is more burgundy. But a lot of vintage stuff is this color. A lot of vintage stuff is this color. So that is today's super cute little bag. It's a 17-inch strap drop. I do believe it is 8 inches wide and 7 3/4 tall. I'm not 100% sure. You need to check the listing in Etsy for all that detail. But it's really cute. I really like it. And these little shoulder bags are very much in at the moment. Now, this strap is a little bit longer. I'm actually tempted to, yeah, it's way too high as a crossbody. I'm actually tempted to maybe, I don't know. I was going to say maybe take this off and see if I could find a longer strap that would make it a crossbody strap. Maybe I will do that. I'm not sure. But that is today's really cute little bag. Now, one thing I am going to say, I sold a beautiful leather bag. It's already gone today. But I am a long tail seller. And what that means is I don't mind if I hang on to stuff for a very long time. It's like, I've said this before, it's like a house. There's a buyer for every house. There's a buyer for every purse. Now, I try and make my prices as reasonable as I can. Again, we talk about that all the time. But I do think that eventually there is going to be somebody who's going to come along and love all these purses. But what that does mean is that my bags will sit for extended periods of time. So the bag I pulled out today hasn't been with me for like years or anything. But I did notice that it needed to be re-moisturized. And I guess my public service announcement for today is that if you've got beautiful leather that you want to maintain, or if you are just grabbing a bag that is just not looking its best these days, put some moisturizer on it. Now, what I use is, let me just get it out for you. I use a Canadian product called Leather Better. It's just kind of a white, it's not even a cream, it's just like a clear paste. It smells so good. They use beeswax, lemon extract, and I use it on all my bags, and I really like it. Now, it is a Canadian product. For you guys in the States, Chamberlain's is what I was using before I discovered this product, and I really like it also. I apply all these products with my fingers. I find that this one in particular is really quite nice on my skin as well, because let's face it, my skin is leather. Just, as much, a different type, of course, but just as much as it is, an animal hide. We moisturize, we need to moisturize. So just a little, just a little nudge, for you to, kind of keep your bags looking their best, especially if it's a vintage bag already. And depending on where you're storing it, if you're storing it near, your air conditioning, or near your heating vent, or near a window, or near, somewhere where it's going to heat and cool, and it can, take that moisture out of it, you just need to put it back in. And the mink oil pads, I'm not sure. I find that mink oil stuff just kind of sits on the top. Yeah, I mean, I use mink oil pads on my shoes as I'm going out the door, because I want them to look great with my outfit, not necessarily that I want it to moisturize my shoes. The idea with a bag is you're going to use it and then you're going to store it. So if you've got some conditioning on it, then that conditioning is going to continue to work even while it's stored. So just in my opinion, all of this is in my experience, my opinion. You may have had a completely different experience, but that in the 9 years that I've been doing this is what is working for me. And when I do pull a bag out to ship for you guys, if it needs to be reconditioned I absolutely will do that for you. My bags are a reflection of me, of my little business, my self. I mean, I don't want anybody receiving anything that isn't as described, as we talked about the other day, that lady that got reimbursed from Etsy. And actually, I spoke to Pius about it, and he actually put a different slant on it. He said you should be quite proud that your listing was worthy of that type of reimbursement, because if you had made any attempt to hide the fact that those marks were there, Etsy wouldn't have honored their guarantee. So I guess it's just all in your attitude and how you respond to it. So Pius and I are trying to find our balance in things that are a little, I mean, everything's rainbows and butterflies at the moment, but every now and again something will come along that challenges us in dealing with things as a couple, and having different approaches on dealing with things. And I think we've both been really able so far anyway to kind of take alternative criticism, and not even criticism, just alternative suggestions on how to do things. But it's hard. We've been doing our own thing. And I mean, Pius was in a relationship for a lot longer than I was, but he was very kind of on his own within that partnership, whereas I've been on my own for a lot of years, and the only person I've had to use as guide is myself, and the only person I've ever had to answer to is myself. So if I wanted to do it, I did it, and if I didn't want to do it, I didn't do it, and if I wanted to do it a certain way, I did it that way. So it's all part of this journey that I am on. So today I went to the gym. Leather Bag Lady weather report. It's another warm day, albeit that it is starting to cloud over now, which is great because I don't have to pull the blind down, which means I can see. Went to the gym, and then I met our friends Blair and Karen from New Waterford in Cape Breton Island. Their daughter's van, the air conditioning crapped out probably quite a few days ago. So they've been driving around with 3 little kids in a van with no air. So we were hoping it was just a Freon recharge, which it was, which is awesome. You should have seen the smiles on their faces, namely Mom and Dad's face, because they're all refreoned and they're off to Niagara Falls for 3 nights, and then they will be heading home. So we're hoping that we'll be able to have one last little visit with them before they go, and then that's that. And then I had a company come and give me a quote for the spray foam application that is going to change my life in this little house, and a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I guess that just comes down to that pre-COVID situation potentially, because it was only 2 or 3 years ago that I was pretty well quoted just over half what it is now. But nonetheless, it's something that we're going to get done, and I don't have to clear the whole house, but I do have to get rid of all these little bits that are loose, and take the bulk of the furniture out. Well, I mean, we've literally got a coffee table, a couch, and bar height, two-person dining room table. This elliptical is not going anywhere, and unfortunately, Pius has his shoulder injury, which he got some information from the doctor today, and it just, the amount of pain the man's in, it just doesn't seem to reflect on the injury. I was just Googling, good old Google, right? And I mean, sometimes you can, get told a bunch of horse shit on Google. But there was some consistent elements, anti-inflammatories, pain medication, physio, which I didn't think would be the answer, or chiropractic. But the number one thing is rest, and not rest to the point where you're not moving the joint, because that'll just cause a frozen shoulder, but to modify activities. So we're going to have to talk a little bit about that, because I mean, Pius is delivering flour to outlets that require him to put hoses together above his head, and that kind of thing is not going to help him get better. So, but I guess it's a good thing that it's not a surgical issue, so he will he hopefully will get better. They said between 6 to 12 weeks, and then hopefully, and if not, then you're going back and looking for other issues. So, but we were both very surprised at how much pain he's in for, just tendinitis and a slight tear. So anyway, that's what we've been waiting for 2 weeks, and he finally got that answer, and now we can move forward, or not. But anyway, that is about it for me. I'm not sure what we're doing tonight. The side grill on the barbecue stopped working yesterday. Well, actually, it stopped working because I left the little door up and it got wet. But I mean, the guy at it's not a cheap barbecue either. It's a really good one. So the guy at the barbecue specialty shop where we bought it just said, I've never heard of that before. So he made a suggestion. We've done that, and hopefully it will work. But I had to make dinner in stages using the microwave last night, and it was not good. So I took some meat out for tonight, but I don't know. We'll see what we're going to do. I'm almost at the point where I'm going to use the little Coleman stove to make, the side dishes, and just put the meat on the barbecue. Who knows what we're going to do? So nothing too exciting going on today. We're just waiting for Friday so we can head off to the trailer. Did some laundry, blah, blah, blah. Tidied up in here quite a little bit because I was having this gentleman come in. I mean, I just put stuff wherever that you couldn't see it, so it's not like it's a permanent solution. But I did, starting to look a little better in here. So on that note, I will say cheerio to you all, and encourage you to moisturize those leather goods, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.